This is a very funny start to a video, guys, but as you can see, I'm currently amid steering the flying shipment on Rebirth. Yes, we're on the the Rebirth mode, the one that recently dropped, the one for Halloween. I'm steering this shit right now. Alright, should I try and flip one of these characters off the map? Because there's someone on the shipment right as we speak. Okay, I just gotta try and, like, throw him off. But yeah, the reason I'm actually on this mode today, guys, is because I have been basically doing, for the past, like, 2-3 hours maybe, I've just kind of been sat here grinding the challenges for this event. Because there's basically a really cool cloud camo you can get as a final camo. And then there's, like, 2 other camos in the actual tab, like the challenges tab, that I thought would be cool to review as well. So I'm actually in here. That's the way I was piloting it. I'm inside of this container. Let's take this guy on. Where's he gone? Honestly, if this guy kills me, I don't give a shit. Because that was one of my challenges. That's why I was actually inside of the shipment, the flying shipment, guys. This big area, this big turf. It's because I was doing the challenge where you've got to steer it. God damn, this game is so laggy. Alright, he's down. But yeah, guys, as you guys know, I don't really go on Warzone. It's not my mode. It's not my thing, okay? I don't touch this game because I honestly find that it's too sweaty. The whole thing's a miserable experience most of the time for me. But, needless to say, as sweaty as this mode actually is, and as much as I've not had the most fun with it, you know, I've found that there's some pretty useful people in this mode, because one challenge I was actually doing amidst this was one of the camo challenges, which is to get 3 operator kills using the Terror Ball. And if you guys don't know, the Terror Ball in this mode is essentially just these red bouncy balls that spawn in at the start of the game around the map, and trying to kill 3 players, never mind 1, is like impossible. Like, it's impossible unless you're deliberately going out of your way and getting other players to help you with the challenge. And it's literally, that is what it is. The Terror Ball is just this red ball that you just gotta knock into players and try and down them and then kill them with it, which never happens naturally, let me tell you that. So I was luckily able to get into like a lobby before, and there was 2 different people who were willing to help me, so that was super sound of them that they were able to help me out with that challenge. And then this game, I believe, okay, I've just gone through a portal. I actually had another person who wasn't really communicating with me in the text chat. I was trying to communicate to them, but they were just helping me, I guess. They'd already done their challenges. They stood still and let me get my final kill, because in the first match that I was in, I should have gotten all 3 of them. The guy who was helping me, I'll put a screenshot on screen, actually, of the guy who was helping me. Big props to that guy for helping me out. I mean, it's a very basic username, but that is the guy who helped me out in the first game. He and I were helping each other out. We were talking in the text chat. It was pretty funny. And I was under the impression I'd got my challenges done, like I'd done my final kill, and then he was like, oh yeah, you've done it and all that. And I was like, yeah, I have. So he left the game, and then I checked my tracking and it said 2 out of 3, and I thought maybe it was a bug. I went back to the lobby and it still hadn't tracked. So this game has honestly got some pretty weird tracking for challenges. Never mind that, the actual Terror Ball challenge in itself is complete garbage, because if you do not hit the person straight on at a certain angle, right, it doesn't actually count as you knocking them or whatever. It's so weird. Like, the tracking in this is just bizarre. But anyway, the last challenge I've got to do is 12 out of 15 portal usages. I've got to use a portal basically 15 times. I've done it 12 times. There's one right here. The one other funny thing about this mode is that the Terror Ball looks very similar to the portals for some reason. The Terror Ball is like this dark red kind of weird ball, and then those portals are kind of like a pinky red ball. So they look very alike, and it's confusing as fuck to anyone who hasn't actually looked it up, like the differences of them. If you're just someone who's coming new into this mode, you're gonna think like, oh, there's a Terror Ball over there, and then you're gonna walk straight into it and go for a portal, like, and just be completely disappointed. Like, this mode, honestly, challenge-wise, is just so stupid. Like, one of them you had to do 50 mercenary kills with a vehicle or with a Terror Ball. I don't know if it said Terror Ball specifically or just with a vehicle, but it's like, yeah, sure, 50 with the Terror Ball might not be as hard because the AI in this are actually so stupid. The mercs walk around pointing their guns at basically nothing, and they stand still half the time. Ooh. So yeah, sure, that would be kind of alright, but I just used the vehicle for that challenge. I just went around running them over, or I steered a helicopter into them. But even then, 50 merc kills with a fucking vehicle. Like, why is that even a challenge? But anyway, one more portal to use, and we will get our final challenge done, and we'll have the cloud camo, the final camo, meaning we'll have all 3 of them. So, hey, There we go. All right. Purgatory Island Event 7. Complete Purgatory Island Challenge 7. Teleport 15 times using portals. There you go. All challenges done. There is the cloud camo that we were looking forward to. That's kind of crazy, man. I've not played Warzone in God knows how long. I come back for like a few hours and I complete the entire event in the span of 2-3 hours. That is so funny to me. Like, everyone else would probably sat here spending the next 20 days that there is left on this event trying to get that done. And I've just got it done in like less than 2 hours. That's absolutely mad. Anyway, let's get to the lobby, let's get to a custom game, and let's inspect these camos, and I'm going to let you know if these reward camos are even actually worth it. Okay, so here they are in the event section. We're actually in a custom lobby, obviously a custom game for multiplayer, because Warzone doesn't really allow all of that custom game shit. Here we are, we've got the Inner Demons camo, which is the first one. I didn't even expect this to be animated. Holy shit, hang on. Absolutely insane, that's the feathery one. Then we've got the next one here, which was the Still Beating camo. That looks sick. That looks insane. We should also have right here the Cloud Watching camo, and that thing is just beautiful. So I'm going to show it on an AR and shotgun, I think, the new LMG actually, and then on the RGL. I'm just going to inspect them, and I'm going to basically show you if they're even actually worth it. I mean, just showing them off right now in the menu, they look insanely good. And you know, obviously you wouldn't know that if you were just looking at it from the events tab, because they don't show the actual camo on the events tab section unless you go to the camo tab and then you look for them yourself. But I'm going to show them in game because that's probably what you're all here for. You guys can all check the events camo section or the events tab for the actual event. So let's just get to some in-game inspects. Okay, so here we are in a custom game. I did actually forget to turn off the HUD, which is kind of annoying, and I usually have the HUD and mini-map off, but we're here on some Mad Cow, which is the Halloween variant of meat. Now we're going to start off with the first camo, the one that we had to get, the Feathery Challenge. Feathery Challenge was the easier one of the two, but okay, so this is it on the STG-44. I can't believe I've already forgotten the name of this camo already, but this one was earned by getting 5 operator kills with a vehicle, and it moves, it's animated, it looks really cool. It seems to have like organs underneath it and then feathers on top. That seems to be the stylistic choice here, but yeah, it's not a bad camo. This, I'd say, is actually pretty damn nice, and the fact that you're only getting that for just getting 5 operator kills in a vehicle, it's actually pretty simple. Like, 5 operator kills in a vehicle isn't the most difficult thing, especially if you just get into like a random SUV or whatever vehicles they have else in that game, you know, those weird water boat type of cars and that kind of shit. You just get in one of those and run people over on the roads, and it works pretty damn well. So for 5 operator kills, I'd say that's worth it for sure, but it's definitely not the best looking one in the entire thing. And then we have the one which you have to get for 3 kills with the Terror Ball. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. This thing glows. It blinks. I mean, it's not only very vibrant, but it also, at least it moves. That's what I mean. It's like animated. Holy shit. So yeah, definitely the terrible one, as tedious as this challenge actually is, it looks phenomenal. And I have to tell you that this is worth it. If it means going into a game like I did and having to ask or just look for people who are already asking in game chat for people who, you know, who want to do the terrible challenge. If you have to do that to get this done, which is what most people I'd imagine are doing, then it's absolutely worth it. Go for it. Ask people to help you. Don't feel embarrassed to ask for help. I personally was not going to sit here for the next 2 weeks stomaching this shit to get this camo. Like, it's an amazing camo, but I wasn't going to make myself sit there and do that for all that time. And even then, it's not even just about this camo either. Like, if I wasn't to get that one challenge done, I would never get the final camo as well. You know, with how tedious these challenges are, I think it's definitely worth it. Because, I mean, look at this. This is the final mastery camo, the Cloud Watching camo. Now, that's one camo I actually remember the name of for some reason. I don't remember the other two. That is beautiful. Vibrant. Literally, I think this now takes the cake as the best final event camo in the game. I know we say that every single time we have a new event that comes out with a new camo, but if you're wondering if it's worth it, absolutely. Get all 8 of these challenges done. It's doable in just 2-3 hours. I'm telling you now, I'm like the most amateur player ever, and I got it done in 2-3 hours. All you need is a bit of assistance for 1 or 2 of the challenges, but the rest of them are very simple. I might give you actually a little breakdown on just some of those challenges for anyone who's wondering, but that is generally the 3 camos camo rewards that you get from this event. So time for some tips, guys, as that's kind of what I do best. That's kind of the origin of my channel. I used to be a tips and tricks tutorial kind of channel. What a throwback. Yeah, also we've got this Walking Dead Road to Terminus event tab. Do you think I should go for this? Because this is all XP based, and by the end of it, you get the Terminus event camo, which apparently may or may not be reactive. So I think that'll be pretty cool to go for as a Walking Dead fan. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so let's explain the Purgatory Island event challenges. There's still 20 days left, so I'm super early to this. I mean, it's actually incredible how I've managed to do that. I've amazed myself as a terrible player in Warzone.
I'm kind of retarded.
So, something that definitely helps with this event is the fact that each game will last about an hour and a half or something, so the match is gone for a ridiculous amount of time, and there is no limits to respawns, so that's another thing that's great about this event. At least, even if you get sweated on, you have a chance. So, the first challenge was to get, even though you can't really see them because they're kind of covered by the complete check mark, this first one was reach Torment Level 2, and Torment Level 2 would just basically mean getting like 2 or maybe a handful of kills. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but I actually noticed that when I was on the floating shipment island, I easily at one point managed to pull off 11-12 kills without dying. So I was on just above a merciless streak, and I've never done that many kills in a row in Warzone in like that one Fortune's Keep event that was like 2 years ago for Vanguard or something. So I'm not a good player, and I'm telling you now, you can go on that floating shipment island if you manage to get rid of anyone who's already on that island and then you just camp the shit out of it. You can get tons of kills, and Torment Level 2, you get it for like a few kills. So this is really simple. This one was spend 5 minutes outside of the safe zone without killing another operator. And the safe zones in this mode are basically just these weird bubbles that you can go into, which put you into third person mode, and you can't shoot other players. It's basically like a way of chilling out in the mode if you want to go AFK or whatever. All you got to do is really not be in one of those bubbles. And what I did was I went to that one tower that's in that one end of the map. I can't remember what side of the map is. I'll probably try and show it on screen, but it's that area of the map, and it has like a big tower. It has a tower that's kind of like a lighthouse, and I just sat in there and camped behind the stairs in that upper part of that lighthouse, and I just sat there for 5 minutes, and that thing got done. Now, it's kind of annoying because you're not allowed to kill other operators, so if an operator does see you and you kill them, well, then you've defended yourself, but then you've also lost the challenge, and you've got to do another 5 minutes worth. So it's kind of annoying, but it's definitely doable. That was the first one I managed to actually get unlocked, I'm pretty sure. This one's get 50 mercenary kills using the terror ball or while in a vehicle. Like I say, using a vehicle is going to be far more easier. Just fly around in a helicopter. Sometimes there'll be mercs that have landed on a roof from a helicopter and they're just sat up there, so you can kind of just swoop your helicopter above the rooftop without trying to crash it, of course, and you can like chop them up, or you can just land into them, kill them that way, or you can just drive around in a car and wait for the helicopters to just drop them in, or just see where they are on the map. You'll be able to see them because the mercenaries in this game are actually little tiny white diamond shapes on the mini-map. They're little white diamonds. That's basically how you'll know that there's mercs on the map and where to go to look for them. Commend 5 operators while in the safe zone. So basically just go into a safe zone. If you see another operator who's just chilling in there, you walk up to them and it'll say, on Xbox anyway, it says click X to commend the player. This one, get 5 operator kills while in a vehicle. Again, just driving around the vehicle. You know what I did find that was easier? Most of these challenges that I got for this camo, for the Inner Demons camo, that's what it's called, I just reminded myself, I found that doing most of those with a helicopter was actually easier. What I did was I got a helicopter and then just floated around in the sky, just went around in laps around the sky and waited for people to sort of come in with their parachutes and just go up to them and chop them up with the blades.
Come on now, dog.
Sometimes if you just hover above the prison in the middle of Rebirth, and that's where most of the spawns seem to be occurring. So if someone spawns back in the sky and they start falling straight down, they might even just fly straight into your helicopter after they've spawned. So that usually works as a pretty foolproof technique, I would say. This one, get 3 operator kills using the terrible. Like I say, there's really no beating around the bush for the still beating camo. Like, there's really no way you're beating around the bush. There's a very rare chance that if you play this in the next 20 days and you're hard grinding the shit out of this, that you might just happen to have a terrible near you, one of those red bouncy balls, and it happens that you knock someone and you hit the ball straight into them without them actually taking themselves out, you know, taking the coward's way out. If that's the case, then props to you. Most players, if they see you with a terrible, you've knocked them and you've not finished them off because you've gone over to get the ball to knock them with it, to finish them, they're just going to finish themselves off, aren't they? Or they're going to revive themselves, because when you first come into the mode, you have 1 stim to revive yourself. So it's going to be either either or in other cases, it's just going to be that you get dogpiled by other players or by that player's teammates. So definitely is not going to work just by playing the game naturally. It's likely not going to happen. I really don't understand why the devs even made this a challenge. It's very fucking dumb. You are going to have to ask players in-game to help you out, you know, enemy players, and just hope that there's a lobby with some decent people in it. And I did find about 2 of them in the past few hours, so it is possible. So there's people definitely out there willing to help even when they finish their challenges, and you can take turns with them and stuff. Teleport 15 times using a portal. You already watched me doing it in the video. You can literally just go through the same portal numbers of times. It doesn't have to be different. There isn't actually 15 different portals on the map anyway. There's probably like 3 or 4 of them, I'd imagine, or 5. Not that many portals on the entire map. So you can literally just basically go portal hopping like I did. Just go through one. You'll fly out the sky, try and go get as nearest to one as you can, and go through it again. If you can't, then just obviously run towards another one and just go through it. You'll be able to see it. It's one of those big glowing purple balls. This one, pilot the flying shipment. Again, if you saw from the beginning of the video, it's very simple. When you see the big flying shipment, the big goofy island, you want to fly towards it, and it's one of the upper shipment containers, so the higher up ones that's got an open door on it. You can land in through it, but if you can't, there's actually another cool way you can do it, where run up to a open container door, click mantle to climb onto it, and then climb up onto the upper boxes. So then when you're up on the top boxes, you then just parkour over, and then where you see the opening to that upper container, you just dive into it, and then there'll be like a skull, basically, like a, I don't know what they called it in the game. You'll be able to see it at the start of the video, or if I showed it again on screen, but you then just click X or whatever it is on your controller or device, mouse, and take control, and you can then steer this island. There might be other people trying to get there to do the same thing, but it shouldn't be too crowded. I don't think a lot of people actually know about that little steering option. So, but anyway, that's my general tips, and that's the Camos. So yeah, to let you know, it's a sweaty ass mode. Half the people in here have probably never even heard of a gym, probably haven't even touched grass in like 5 months. So do be warned, it's a complete sweat fest, and you've got all the TTV players maxing out cracked meta loadouts on the fucking top of the prison. So it is a sweaty fucking mode, but once you get these event camos, definitely worth it. Absolutely worth the reward, all of them. Anyway, thank you for watching. If this helped you out, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you just enjoyed, leave a like. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you thought and what else you'd like me to kind of explain a little bit more for you if it's needed. Check out all the links down below in the description. And other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.